So, a little project update. We have ourselves a Brembo radial front brake master cylinder. Just tuck that out of the way for the moment. Obviously, I'll have to make a bracket for that to fit, probably on the yoke, or I might not use that reservoir at all. I think I've got a smaller one somewhere, or I might just use a piece of clear Tygon tubing with a bung in the end of it, and that will just be the reservoir. It is a race bike after all. But this is the same cylinder as on the Z. It's a 16mm bore cylinder, so from these Brembo radials you can get a 14, a 16 and a 19. And I think the 16 is a good compromise between power and feel. Not that I'll be testing out the power or feel of these brakes, so who knows. The lever, I just robbed that off the Z because I am intending to, as a little project, maybe get some nicer levers for the Z, or even I might even design and get some CNC machined, not sure yet. So anyway, that is there. I've measured up for brake lines today and ordered those from Venhill, one of my favourite brake line suppliers. What else? I've made a fairing bracket for the upper fairing, and then another one on that side, and they're both identical. And if you look down the centre line of the bike, that lower part of the top fairing is about where it should be, equal on each side. And but I noticed it's pulling a bit of a gap here. Why the hell's that? You know, that should be nice and tight. So yeah, these brackets are identical. You know, obviously I made one first by cutting and shutting and bending until it looked about right, and then just made a copy of that one, so they should be identical. But I was like, well, why is there a gap on this side? Well, it's the fucking project that just keeps on giving, doesn't it? I was a bit miffed when I screwed the screen onto the front fairing. I was like, oh, look at the fucking, he's got that fucking screw off centre. You can see the logo, the MRA screen logo. Now that's always in the centre of the screen, so you can see he's got that screw about half an inch off side. So that was really fucking bugging me, because remember, I didn't drill any of these holes. They were already pre-drilled in the fairing and the screen. So I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. What am I going to do about that? Well, not much you can do about it. It's done. So then I was like, okay, well, if you have a look at the front, you can see what I mean about the logo. Let's say it's probably about 10mm. That screw should be 10mm further that way. But look, these line up. And why is that? Because he's fucking drilled that friggin' hole off the centre of the fairing as well. That's not in the centre of the fairing. And you can see that, look, in this array, that hole is in the centre. If you have a look. And that is not above that hole. It's about 10mm off to the side. And then you look down between the fork clearance of the fairing. Quite a lot on that side. Not as much on that side. Just a better view. So I stood back and had a look down above it, and look how much off to the side, to the left hand side as we're looking at it, the top of that fairing is. Yeah, that's what I said. Fuck me. I mean, fairings are the last things that you put on a bike when you've built it. And they're the last things that you paint. Not the first things you paint and drill and bloody put holes in. So, I know that bracket and that bracket is right. So, I'm going to drill the holes in the fairing. There's no holes, obviously. I've got to drill a hole through there. I'll drill the holes to line up those brackets. I've already marked them up, just waiting for the paint to dry. Then what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to try and shift this whole fairing over to the left by at least 10 mil, maybe more. And the way I'm going to do that is on that bracket. So that bracket, as you can see, I'll just turn this light off, it's getting a bit of glare. That bracket, as you can see, is supposed to sit between those two, or those 4 tabs, but it could be mounted on this side towards us with a spacer in there. So that's what I'm going to have to do, what I'm going to have to do to try and get this fairing on the center line of the bike. Otherwise it's just going to look fucking stupid. You know, yeah, you can do a little bit with fairing brackets. So there's supposed to be a bracket from that lug up to the inside, that face there of the fairing. So those will be on the list of things to do. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet, because I've just got to sort out a few fork travel issues and what I'm going to do about that. You know, I can move the brake cylinder inwards along the bar, and you'll still have plenty of reach and travel on the lever. So that's probably what I'm going to do to get around that. And then I'm going to have to make some matching brackets either side to stop that and hold it all in position. So this is why I hate doing fairing brackets, because you can't just jump in and do it. You've got to do a little bit, try it out, then do another bit. And you know, making a bracket like that, you know, takes a bit of time if you want to get it looking right and, you know, looking the part. Probably took me about an hour and 20 minutes maybe to make the first one, and then the second one I did in about 45 minutes because I had the first one to copy off. So yeah, ordered brake lines, they're on the way. I'll have to make a bracket obviously for the if I'm going to use this master cylinder reservoir. I'll have to make up a little bracket for that. It shouldn't have any trouble clearing anything. What else? So if I get that back over there, okay. So you can see I was concerned about the exhaust, but I think we're going to be all right on the clearance side of things anyway. We'll have to see when I come to doing these brackets down here, because obviously they've got to be equal distance each side. I'll work out if that comes in the right position. I mean, it should be probably something like that. So it just wraps around, but you don't want it touching. You want a bit of distance. But I might have to do what I did on the P&M, and that's down in here. I'll just turn the light on again. Yeah, right down in there you can see the heat shield material that I've put in, and that's all sort of down the side, inside of the fairing. So I might have to do something like that down in that belly pan area. the exhaust, but still I doubt I'm going to do anything with the bracket. I'll probably just leave it. Yeah, so a little bit of progress, but yeah, plenty of other jobs to be doing as well. So yeah, I'm just going to try and do a main push now in the next 2 weeks up till Christmas to try and do as much of this as I can, the bracketry and whatnot, but it's time consuming and it's a bit of a pain, but there you go.